Hey friends, my name is Jake. Welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge. Today we're taking a look at another knife by REVO Knives. This is the NESS. It's got styling that is reminiscent of, the NESS style knives, and got that blade shape. This handle, when I first saw it, I thought it was a little strange, but in the unboxing, I already showed you how much I thought the comfort was just awesome, and it is. It's a very comfortable knife to hold and to use. I'll tell you more. I'll tell you everything I know about this knife in just a few minutes. Stick around. The full review's coming in just a moment. First, I need to make an announcement, and that is on the other REVO Knives review that I did. For those of you who watched at least about, a little over halfway through, there was a secret giveaway that was put into that video. And unfortunately, only, a little bit less than 30 people, I think it was 28 people, figured out the giveaway, even though I explicitly said, here's a giveaway and how you enter it. So what happens when you watch the whole video, you sometimes find surprises. Anyway, and the winner is Simon. Just take a look at the screenshot of the random draw. You got to contact me, Chris, otherwise you can't get the knife. And hopefully you can take a snapshot of your profile page the way that it is when you're editing it. That'll prove to me that it's you who's emailing me, because I have had people in the past try to get knives off me when they weren't really the real winners. So I need that little bit of proof. Right now, the full review of this NESS is coming to you. Keep watching. So here she is. Look at that knife. Beautiful stonewash. Open pillar construction. Deep carry pocket clip. Easy access lanyard holes, and with tie-up that doesn't bulk out like crazy. Liner lock. Good lockup. No blade play, nice sharpness choil, and so comfortable. Such a very comfortable knife. Left or right-handed, I found this knife to be very comfortable, and it cuts well. This full flat grind is a good cutter. Let's do a size comparison before we get too far ahead. This is the Ontario Rat that I always used to compare to. The Rat 1, that is. And a little bit shorter than the Ontario Rat 1, and the blade length also tiny bit shorter, but a little more cutting edge. Not much, but a little more cutting edge. What do you think of this? It comes in 4 different colors. We've got this blue, we've got OD green, we've got black. All those are G10, and coming out very soon, solid carbon fiber. And those ones are going to cost a little more, because it's not just one of those carbon fiber stickers on there. It's solid carbon fiber version. Should be out quite soon. We've got D2 steel, and I spoke with REVO Knives. Their target is between 58 and 59 on the Rockwell scale for D2. That's perfect in my estimation. If you get, to like 61 for D2, which you can easily do for D2, it starts to become a little bit chippy on the edge. And so between 58 and 59 is perfect. This nice stonewash even helps to protect the steel. It makes it a little more corrosion resistant. And D2, while not being a stainless steel, it does perform quite well in corrosion resistance. So there's that NESS design. Some might say it's a little bit like a leaf design, maybe a little bit like a drop point. Yeah, sort of like all those. You've got a lot of cutting edge with this huge belly here, nice long belly. I like this plunge. It looks nice. I wish that the sharpness choil was just a little bit bigger. It terminates before the plunge ends. This spot right at the end of the blade right there can get a little bit messy when you're sharpening. Not a big deal. That's a really tiny thing. This is a budget knife after all. And I took it apart to show you guys what it's like on the insides. So here's the knife taken apart. We've got some steel ball bearings, nice and small, but something that I wasn't expecting. There's a steel race that's like a washer that they put on either side of the liners. These are already stainless steel liners, but they put in races as well. That helps give it very smooth action, which I like quite a lot. No skeletonizing, as you can see, just that little relief cut here to help turn this lock arm into a spring of sorts. Maybe a little skeletonizing would have been nice, but hey, it's not a heavy knife by any stretch. The screws have got just a little bit of some blue Loctite on there, but they were easy to take apart. It didn't damage any of the screws. You know, the screws are good size. They fit with the drivers fairly well, so no problems to let you know of there at all. So, well made. The balance point is right here. So if they would have done some skeletonizing, they could have brought the balance point right there, but it's not bad at all. It's, I'll tell you about the weights and all that stuff about this knife in just a little while, but first I'm going to go over all the features. There's no jimping up here. The only jimping to be found is on the liner lock release right there. Makes it really easy to get your thumb, have some grip on there to unlock it. So that's not bad at all. But your thumb rests very comfortably, at least mine does, very comfortably in here. Stop pin there works just well. Nice stop pin. You can see that there's no hole here, no screwdriver hole. It's got a D-shaped pivot pin, so no problem taking it apart. The screws are good quality. Didn't have any damage on any of them. No chance. I mean, when I took it apart in anything, you know, they're not soft or anything. They're good screws. You've got these hourglass shaped pins here for the body screws. They look good, very functional. Stainless steel liners, stone washed. Stainless steel pocket clip. It's got also a light stone wash on it, and you've got their R right there for REVO Knives. Notice anything else? Screws. It's got flush screws on the pocket clip. I can't see why all budget knives can't do that these days. There's no need to be using the button screws sticking out and getting in the way of the pocket. A little bit of a scoop here. It doesn't have a flat spot here on the end of it, but it didn't get hot in the hands at all when I used it, so there's no problem. In my left hand, you know, the three fingers all laid back here. The index finger was away from the pocket clip, so it rested like that. You can just see that right there. So no problem, very comfortable. Let's see what the pocket clip, how it functions in a pair of pants. It tries to climb over immediately, and you just push a little bit and down it goes all the way, and your knife is almost completely in the pocket. You can just see a tiny little bit that there's something in there. Looks good, works good. The amount of grip and tension that's on the pocket clip is perfect. I like it quite a lot. And easy access to take it out if you want to. It's not a left side pocket clip. I do wish they would have made it left compatible as well for the 10% of lefties that are out there. I did grow up left-handed, so I do feel that sometimes. These other screws here for the body screws I didn't tell you before, they've been recessed, so they're not sticking proud either. The G10 texture is grippy, and then they've got these milled lines in here as well. So there you can see those milled in lines. They're done very well, and they do add a little bit extra texture. Good hand feel. let's talk about the features, how they work. Well, lockup is just a tiny, tiny bit later than a perfect. In other words, it's very, very good. Lockup is solid, no blade play side to side, up and down. Lots of room to wear across over many years of use. Like I said before, it's easy to disengage the lock, pushing over with your thumb. You've got a flipper to deploy the blade. Now, that's where I do wish there was just a little bit of jimping. I wish there was a little bit of jimping on the front there, because my finger has slipped off a number of times when I just pick it up and I first try and I go, oops. It's because the detent is strong. It's not stupid strong. It's a strong detent, but sometimes it slipped off. If there's a little more grip in there, then it wouldn't slip off as easy. So light switch method, either straight up, oops, hit the tabletop, either straight works just fine, or sometimes I use the side of my finger like that, works great. Push button straight down, that doesn't work. You just can't. You have to be pushing a fair bit to the back before the blade will deploy. The fact that the detent is strong is very, very good in Canada, because the courts have been interpreting knives that have weak detents that you can just thrust your hand forward and suddenly stop, or downward and then make the blade come out. They're calling those centrifugal knives. You really have to be careful with axis lock knives. A lot of them do that easily. And so this has got no problem that way. I know our border services are stopping a lot of flippers, but that's not according to the law. That's just according to the border services interpretation of the law. So there you go. I got mine directly from REVO Knives, but White Mountain Knives has got the REVO blades. They're sold out of the NESS right now. I'll put a comment down below as soon as I find out when they're going to get more in stock, in the first comment, maybe even in the notes below. But from White Mountain Knives, you can get 10% off with coupon code CCE. $65 it costs. REVO Knives sells them directly from their website as well. $65 there. That's American dollars. That equals about 85 Canadian, about 55 euros, and about 50 British pounds. And that's without factoring in any taxes. So it's a nice knife. So comfortable. I just can't get over it, how nice it feels. Let's go over all the specs and stats and stuff like that. The weight of this knife, 137 grams, 4.85 ounces. So yeah, full-size folder, big blade, still under 5 ounces. Not bad at all. Cutting edge, 125 best. That is sharp. It was sharpened quite sharp from the factory. The cutting edge length from the tip to the end of the sharpened edge, or to the handle, same, 8.77 centimeters, 3.454 inches. The blade thickness, back here at the ricasso, 3.22 millimeters, which is 0.127 of an inch, just a tiny bit over an eighth of an inch. The blade depth, this time instead of measuring it 1 inch up, I measured it at the widest point, 3.3 centimeters, 1.299 of an inch. The thickness of the edge behind the grind, and this was measured at my typical spot, 0.59 millimeters, 23 thousandths of an inch. So I would like it a tiny bit thinner, but hey, this is well within the range of completely acceptable. And what's next? The handle length. The handle length here is 11.93 centimeters, so 12 centimeters, 4.697 inches. Not bad, almost 4 3/4 inches. The grip area, it's approximately 9 centimeters, about 3.5 inches, so good. The handle thickness is 1.22 centimeters, that's 0.48 of an inch, so it's plenty thin enough. The depth is 3.25 centimeters, 1.28 inches. Men's small, they might start to find it a little too deep this way. Depth, when the knife is closed, it's biggest right here, 4.23 centimeters, 1.666 of an inch. And the total length of this knife when the blade is deployed is 20.58 centimeters, which is, whoops, don't want to get the tip of the blade inside that slot. There we go. just over 8 inches. I've already given you the price. I think this knife is worth every penny. Minor changes that I would do. I'd make that sharpener's choil a tiny bit bigger. Maybe a little bit of jimping on the flipper tab. And that would make this knife even more perfect. You know, it's a very good knife as it is from the factory, but I always find something that I might change. So I had to bring those things up. I like the color options. This blue is very nice. And with the OD green or black and now the solid carbon fiber, not bad at all. I think the solid carbon fiber is going to be, well, I shouldn't guess. But what are the positives? Just to go over all those things again. Very good detent. I like that. Nice lanyard option. It's enough G10 to fill the hand and yet small enough for paracord to not bulk out. There's minimal writing on the knife. You can see that R right there. And then there's another R here on the pocket clip. I would like if it said D2 somewhere on the blade. That would be nice, but I prefer it when there's not an awful lot of writing on the knives. So that's good. The recessed body screws is very good. The flush pocket clip screws, perfect. Open pillar construction, easy to get in there and clean it. Lockup is just great. Blade alignment, haven't talked about that yet, have I? Near perfection. And it wants to stay closed when it's supposed to be closed. And certainly the lock keeps it open when it should be open. Comfortable in the hand. Even reverse grip is comfortable. Even a reverse pull grip, which you don't often have on folding knives. And you almost never use a knife this way anyways, but it is comfortable. And it looks cool. I think it looks cool. Of course, not every knife is for everybody, but I'm one of those odd kind of people who likes just about every knife. But this one, it definitely is made well. For those of you who aren't aware, REVO Knives is an American company. Some of their knives are made in China. They've got some designs that they tell me that are going to be made in the United States, so that's really good. They are a sibling company of Blade Runner Systems, so if you know anything about them, they are some very nice knives. So they've got a good pedigree, and it's clear in this knife. It's very well made. So if you're looking for something nice, this might just be the one. And I keep hearing from more and more resources that this Christmas season is going to be crazy for shipping, or potentially crazy. You're going to want to get your Christmas gifts early if you're going to be shopping online for them, because they might get held up in the mail if you don't get them fairly early. I already had one viewer say that, he's almost done his Christmas shopping, so there you go. I got to get on it for mine. Thanks so much for watching my video. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb. Bye for now.